Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Adam's Quest. In the last episode, a few brushes with tragedy left our tribe quite shaken. Not only did Goldenheart have a Berryena to deal with, she had to decide if she was going to protect her newborn baby, or if she was going to try to preserve herself. She is our only creature left with the home island gene, so it's very important that we keep her safe. And were it not for her brave daughter, Water Lily, then their fate would have been very, very different. Now she is quite wounded though, so her family is going to have to guide her over to the healing fruits. And I guess this would actually be Hibiscus's doing. He would remember the healing fruits from his childhood, since it's so close to where he was born. Hopefully we'll find that the bunnies haven't stolen all of their berries too. Since this place has been in the dark for so long, I wouldn't be surprised if other creatures have taken it over. We'll just have Hibiscus breed with Goldenheart before they go, because I definitely want her to set up a nest. Oh no, do I already see the bunnies? Yep, they're stealing all of our food. I guess you guys have arrived just in time then, to reclaim this old land for the flowers. And as far as Foxglove goes, I feel like he would be more of the lone wolf of the family. This would be a great opportunity for him to show his true colors. He will request to stay behind with their berry bush, right next to the very same nest where he was born, and guard this land so nothing can take it over while they're gone. So they know that their home is going to be very well guarded, since Foxglove is quite capable of taking care of himself, and they'll always have a place to return to after Water Lily is well and healthy again. Goldenheart is going to have to dig back into the roots of her family, way back into her ancestors, to the last time when they actually had a healing fruit to use. Not the water healing fruits. That was kind of what her family was most known for, using those to heal their wounded. But very few creatures have witnessed the land-bound fruits, with their much more potent medicines. So as she spends time pondering that overnight, we'll go back to our little fairies, who must be getting quite restless themselves. I'm sure Lyric in particular probably remembers seeing Hibiscus cross this piranha-infested water, and now that she knows Bluebell so well, maybe she'd like to reunite their family. I'm sure Bluebell would love to get to know her brother, and I'm sure that Almond is also missing his family. Maybe hearing about all of this is making him nostalgic for his own siblings. We'll just go ahead and pick up the last of these little fruits before we go. We don't want to leave all of that potential food off in the grasses after all. And if our fairies are going to leave this land behind them, then they might as well pack a big lunch. Almond could even try his hand at fishing a little bit. Maybe try to carve a pathway through all of those fish. But unfortunately, they're a little bit more stubborn than he bargained for. Now this side of the island is where all of the drama is currently taking place. Not only do we have an ape somewhere out here in the darkness, we saw our very first big-eyed ape. So we need to come up with a way to make sure that our creatures don't look too appetizing for him to eat. And that's why I think that we're going to want to enlist the help of our fairies after all. With their distasteful appearances, they might be able to soothe the beast and prepare the ports for our next migration. But nobody has told Isana and Chipper the news yet. Unfortunately, they are still quite in the dark, because Phantom has his own troubles to worry about right now. Our newest little wanderer has proven herself to be quite the trickster indeed. Not only did she steal our healing fruit from right under our nose, but she's also expecting a baby with Phantom now. One of you had a really great idea for her backstory, and I think we're gonna run with it. Basically, after realizing that our tribe had noticed her stealing the healing fruit, she came up with a story that she was taking it back to her injured mate, who had been attacked by the ape. But unfortunately, by the time she returned, he was already gone. So now she has been left all by her lonesome, and her scheming ways have found her with a baby to have. A baby who could quite possibly end up sick, by the way, because Phantom and Lalais both have immunity gene A. Unfortunately, we didn't get the chance to set up their mutation menus either, because it was completely unplanned. So I guess all we can really do is hope that maybe the normal eyesight will stick. That way her baby won't have the short-sighted eyes instead. There is still a possibility that Phantom's influence could help out in this case. Maybe they'll even have the lean body that'll help them escape the ape. But I suppose the lean body and the dark fur would also connect this baby to Phantom, and he definitely doesn't want Amanita to know. He was actually hoping to start a family with her, and I think that's why we're going to continue down the shore as soon as possible. We want these creatures to get as far away from the danger as they can. Amanita trusts Phantom so much that I don't really feel like she'd have a reason to suspect him. She would probably believe our wanderer's woeful tale, and think that her baby was that of her fallen mates. It makes me wonder what she's hoping to gain out of all of this. Maybe she just wants to steal our food sources? We do have quite a bit of food to go around, so maybe that's part of her plan. But the commotion would definitely draw Chipper and Isana out of the grass by now, with all of those stinky fruits in tow. I mean, at the very least, at least Amanita and Phantom are going to have a feast. They know that they have a nice big reward waiting for them now. I'm going to leave Amanita right here, just because I'm not sure if Lalais is going to be able to catch up to the tribe if we move her away. Thanks to that short-sighted eyesight, she would probably end up getting separated, and Amanita at this point is still very willing to help her, since she is completely in the dark. Now let's see if this little baby finally has that home island gene. Yes, perfect! And she has the blue eyes too. Oh, I'm not sure if we've seen that in quite a while. She looks so much like her brother with that gray fur. She could be a little wolf baby too. I think we'll actually call her Wildflower. I feel like that would be a pretty fitting name, and we'll see what sort of trouble she can get into once she starts to grow as well. But at least we know that we won't have to worry about losing the home island gene now. At least one of their babies is carrying it on. So go ahead and scoop up the first of our healing plants. Yeah, look how much damage that took off of her lifespan. So one more healing fruit and she should be all better again. Let's have you scoop up those berries though. Those pesky bunnies are eyeing them up again. We might have to have Hibiscus jump in if he gets the chance, since we know he can run so far now. Not quite far enough to reach this little bunny over here, but he might as well return to his old home, see if maybe they could use this berry bush to their advantage too, as another little place to let their family grow. Honestly, I feel kind of bad for leaving Foxglove all on his own, but he's almost fully grown now, so I think he'll still be safe and sound. Oh, look at this! Is this a little bit of karma? Very, very interesting. Even the leeches aren't too impressed with your troublesome ways. All of your trickery. I feel like the leeches would probably be like the biggest bane of our bandits. Since they love their shells so much, they would always be fighting the leeches. Now I really don't think we're going to be able to move Almond through this pond. Since he can't swim very well, he can only move one tile, and these fish are not giving him any room to breathe. So I guess Almond is going to have to find a different way for them to get over to the other side. He knows this is where his siblings were headed anyway, since this is where the safe haven is. But he's probably a little bit concerned. Now that he can see it, it seems awfully empty, awfully quiet. So that's probably another reason why he wants to take this journey too. But at least he has the beautiful music of Lyric to soothe his mind. Maybe he's even finding himself a little bit smitten with her too. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll want to move Poppy very far away from all of these plants. We'll just have her pick up the grass in the area, so we'll be able to see these again if we do ever make our way back to the old fairy's home. And then you, Almond, can start carving away down the stream. If you make your way back down to the shore, then you should be able to cross much more easily. I think there was even another one of those fruits out here, one of the carnivorous plants rather. so they can gather from that as well before they reunite with their families. But otherwise, I think we're ready to skip the turn again. So let's watch our bandits. Make sure that those pesky apes aren't going to follow us way out here. Oh my gosh. Wait a second. Is this your little partner in crime? Oh, this is interesting. Let's see if we can trap him. No, he's going to run away. Oh, please don't lead us back toward the apes. I think we're going to have to come back later and see if we can find him again, unless he decides to turn around and join us in our journeys. Maybe it's even Lalais, who's trying to urge our creatures to move on. She doesn't want them to know about, the strange red creature. Oh, you must be her partner in crime. He has the mask hidden away in his genetics, but he's also quite sick. Oh, wait a second. Do you think that's why she stole the healing fruit? She had this big story about her fallen mate, but maybe this is actually her brother, her little brother who she wanted to heal with that fruit that they found. And she's probably worried that they're going to banish him because he is so sick, because he risks getting their leaders and their children sick too. Very, very interesting. And even more so now that her baby could end up being sick as well. But I think we're going to have Amanita keep making her way down the shore. I still want her to have just one baby with Phantom, despite all of this drama. She might just have to set up an emergency nest somewhere. So we'll scoot you over next to Phantom, so we can have him lick your wounds. And we'll keep our eyes peeled for that wanderer again. Yeah, I guess she's going to have to track him down. Hopefully he'll stay in our shadow. Now with the last of our days drawing near, Amanita will finally ask if Phantom will start a family with her. We'll make sure to place the normal eyesight into her mutation menu, as well as perhaps the no albinism trait, because I would love to see either the spots on their babies or the dark fur that Phantom has. Anything that will help them blend in with their scenery, since that's what this pair was so well known for. We'll place the spots into Phantom's mutation menu, and then for his other slot, the no albinism as well. So let's have him breed with her, and then she can keep making her way down the shore. You know, I think she's actually trying to return to those plants that she loves so much. Her carnivorous plants. Not the best place to raise a baby, but since they were her favorite food, I feel like she would want her babies to know them as well. Now, Isana wouldn't be willing to leave one of their tribe mates behind, so we'll have her stay back here for now. Just kind of clear out the grass, make sure that Lalais isn't falling too far behind, as Chipper carves a pathway in the front and scoops up all of that fish as he goes. It looks like Foxglove is all grown up now, so we can use all 3 of his turns to gather the berries this time. Though so far... Oh, I was gonna say the bunnies were leaving him alone. I mean, all of the berries were left on his bush. He must just be intimidating them with that big claw of his. They're worried that he is going to turn around and strike. And honestly, they have reason to be, because their family is not to be messed with. They have taken down Berginas, which is not something that many of our creatures can say. But now Water Lily is completely healed again, so she's ready to charge off for yet more adventures. We might have her tag along with her father, as he unearths the land of his old home, and as he prepares the place for yet one more baby with golden heart. But for now, she's going to have to stay very close to Wildflower's side, because if she didn't, she knows that Wildflower would run straight off into the jungle in an instant. So everything is still good back here, right? It looks like this fruit actually grew back very safely, so our fairies did their job well, but I'm sure it'll be rather startling for our little flowers to hear all of this music coming from the distance, as Poppy and Lyric and Bluebell make their way down the stream. Yeah, this was the plant that I thought was out here, and thankfully it is very friendly. That could have been a disaster otherwise, but Poppy knows how these things work by now, so we'll bring her friends down here to help her gather them up. It looks like we're out of turns again. So, is your brother still out there somewhere? Oh no, it looks like he may have skittered back toward that safe haven. I hope he's not running straight into the ape's arms either. With that bright red fur of his, there is no way that the big-eyed ape isn't going to notice him. Yeah, you might actually want to turn around, see if maybe you can sniff him out in the grass. Maybe this would even be a good time for her to set up a nest of her own. It's far enough away that if her baby is sick, she won't have to worry about our tribe noticing. And it's also quite far away from Amanita, so on her very last day, we won't have to worry about her feeling betrayed. Oh, and I forgot that there was actually a permanent nest here too, right next to one of our very friendly plants. So this is honestly the perfect place for you to have your one and only baby. We'll have you crack open this carnivorous plant, munch on some of your favorite fruits, and then wait for Phantom to catch up to you too. We'll have him settle down right behind you, pick up the fruits as well, and consider what he's gotten himself into. He's gonna have quite a few regrets bearing down on his shoulders. I think the only thing that Amanita would ask is that Phantom still takes their child out on the same grand adventures that they had when they were young. They used to rule these jungles after all, and she wants her baby to know the same taste of freedom. Oh my gosh, and look at this. It looks like her brother has returned after all. Well, we absolutely have to invite you now, little Kirduknu. So we'll keep him far away from his sister, hidden away in those grasses so nobody notices him. He must be here to offer up his support for his sister, since she's helped him along so much during his life. So Lalais will urge Isana to continue on down the shore, make sure that she catches up to her sibling, make sure that she finds her tribe again. She would play to the fact that she is our bluebird leader, so she can't leave our tribe in the dust. A leader has to lead after all. They would be lost without her. And now these two will be safe and sound in the seclusion of their jungles. We'll just keep an eye to our backs to make sure the ape doesn't notice us out here. But otherwise, I think they'll be free to raise their family together and to use those healing fruits too as soon as they grow back. I guess quite a few babies are going to be born on this turn, as long as we can get Golden Heart over to this bunny burrow and this berry bush. We'll have Hibiscus hopefully startle the bunnies away as we breed these two again and have Golden Heart settle down her nest right on top of the burrow this time. So none of those pesky bunnies are going to be spawning in to steal our baby's food. That leaves Wildflower all on her own to listen to that beautiful music in the distance, and I'm sure that's what she wants to investigate the most. Though luckily she won't have very long to wait. She'll notice those bright, vivid fairies in the grass before long. So let's head on over to Amanita to see what her one and only baby is going to look like. Will it perhaps carry on the traits of the mushrooms? Yes! She looks almost just like her mother, just some slightly darker spots. And unfortunately she's missing her mother's claw, so she won't be quite as good at bunny hunting as Amanita was. But I'm sure she's still going to be very, very stealthy. And that's just what we need to get us further in the jungles. So I think we'll name this baby Gypsy, after the gypsy mushrooms. And because she is going to be our little wanderer, our little adventurer, so it seems like it would be quite fitting. Now let's see what Golden Heart's new baby looks like as well. Oh, you have the stripes this time? No Homine Jean, unfortunately. But the stripes, the stinky tail. Oh, I bet the Bluebird family would love to meet you. That's quite a shocking trait for our little court of flowers. It's so strange that every last one of their babies has had that gray fur too, considering that Golden Heart was so bright and colorful. And I mean, so was Hibiscus as well. He had that lovely pink fur to connect him with the flowers. But these two are raising a pack of wolves. So I think we will call this little baby Wolfsbane, and I'm sure before long he'll be ready to go charging off with his sister too. In fact, let's have a wildflower nose her way up through these weeds. We'll have her tear them down with her big claw, with one big mighty swipe, using as much strength as she can muster, and that will officially clear out this pathway for Almond and his little fairies to use. We'll just pick up the last of these fruits, so they can all be on their way with plenty of food to share. I'd imagine that would also be a pretty discerning trait of our fairies. Not only would they sing everywhere they go, but they would always have a little bit of extra food in their pockets, the most rare and exotic stuff, to share with all of the creatures that they pass. Water Lily, as protective as she is, would probably want to make her way over here too, just to make sure that these creatures are going to be safe for her little sister to interact with. And of course, we have Foxglove watching from the opposite end of the shore. He could actually lead these creatures over to their goal, though I wonder if all of the commotion in the grass is causing him to get a little bit concerned. Maybe he thinks that their land is under attack right now, so he would want to investigate too. We'll just give the carnivorous plant a lot of room to work with. He wouldn't be that foolish after all. He's lived here long enough that he knows all of the dangers of the land. And likewise, if Isana saw him coming down the shore, she would charge straight ahead too. Chipper is sweet, but he's not really one for dealing with potential dangers, so she knows that this is all on her. Now, Phantom, you can show your new little baby just how bad you are at bunny hunting. Yeah, that's one skill that he was never able to master. It was always Amanita who caught the bunnies for him. So now the bunny's presence is like a constant reminder of all of his regrets. Though before we end out the episode, I do desperately want to see what Lalais's baby is going to look like, whether or not they're going to be sick just like her little brother. So let's scoot her next to the fruit, I guess. We'll have her settle down a nest right here, and then we'll bring Kierduknu a little bit further away, because we don't want him to cause any issues. He can be the scout for now, making sure that the ape hasn't caught their trail. We might even want to consider using these muddy patches. It's not going to help very much for the pig-eyed ape, but at least it would offer them a little bit of reassurance. So if something else comes stumbling out of the darkness, they'll be able to hide away. Now let's see what the fate of her baby is going to be. This very, very dramatic little baby. Oh, he looks quite interesting, doesn't he? He's actually not sick? Oh, that is awfully lucky for you. It looks like he inherited his father's lean body over the toxic body. So I guess it's a good thing that Amanita wasn't around to see this. I wonder if that would have tipped her off a little bit, since Phantom is the only one with the lean body, but now we have a brand new little family to raise. This is going to be quite interesting. So do you guys have any ideas for this baby's name? Should we give them a brand new theme perhaps? Or would she name this baby in memory of Phantom? Despite all of her trickery, maybe she actually had feelings for him after all. So we'll see how their story grows in the next episode. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!